So back in 1997, Rare stunned the gaming world with Goldeneye, a game that would change console shooters forever. Rare not only created a first-person shooting masterpiece, but also created a movie tie-in that wasn't utter arse. Granted, the game came 2 years after the film, but I guarantee nobody cared. So almost 21 years later, how does Goldeneye hold up against the modern big guns like COD and Battlefield? And the answer in most departments is not very well. Let's start with the controls. Back in the day, the N64 analog stick was a game changer, and Goldeneye was obviously designed around it. And for the time, it was close to perfection. But after using twin sticks since the early 2000s, going back to it feels a bit awkward. I mean, you can make it feel a little more modern by setting the controls to 1.2, so the analog stick is used for aiming, but it still feels alien to most players all these years later. Now, one area for me that has stood the test of time is the level design. Each level represents the scenes from the movie down to a T, and the inclusion of mission objectives was a welcome addition, and the fact that they became progressively harder as you up the difficulty setting was a sign of things to come. Granted, there has been some artistic license used in piecing the levels together. Take the surface level for instance, which is by far my standout level and has the best soundtrack to boot. But in the movie, Bond was never anywhere near this location. But if it was just followed the film exactly, the game would only have about 10 missions. But due to Rare's great work, these made up scenarios never feel out of place. And who didn't love protecting Natalia on the control level? To accompany the brilliant level design was the oh so brilliant soundtrack by a retro gamer favourite, Grant Kirkhope. There isn't a bad piece of music in the game. Even the pause menu is legendary. There is no way on earth you can talk about Goldeneye without mentioning the multiplayer, and oh boy is it special. This is where the 4 controller ports prove their worth. The Xbox Live generation of gamers will never understand the feeling of you and 3 mates crowding around a CRT trying to be the first one to grab the golden gun, or having your character look at the floor so the others couldn't tell where you were. Oh, and if you pick top job, then you're just a cunt. The game modes varied from standard deathmatch to slappers only. So does Goldeneye hold up in 2018? Not quite. That doesn't mean it's still not a game worth playing, whether that be on your own or with mates, because it will always be a legend.